Anybody say anything?
No.
Okay, like you said, Eddie, you can always do, this town board is always open to comments and questions in the future. If you have anything about the budget after the board meeting, please reach out to my office or the town clerk's office, and we'll answer anything accordingly. But at this moment, at this time, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
Aye. Okay. And we're doing one for the, was there a notice for that one?
Yes, there was a notice for the hearing for the 3000 Western Turnpike.
I do not have a copy of it. You have one for the hearing? Folks, is-
The notice wasn't provided to the public, it was provided to the property owners.
Okay, so we don't have to read the public notice?
No, I'm
Okay,
so sorry.
that
Yeah,
explains.
that's right.
So there's be no public notice, I'm just gonna open it up to the public.
Yep.
And I'll let Teresa speak on behalf of, before we open up to the public, of what the hearing consists of, and then we'll, like I said, we'll have, I'll turn it over to Teresa now and let her speak about what the public hearing is regards to, and we'll open up to the public, and go from there to the normal public. Teresa, the floor is yours here.
All right, so for 3000 Western Turnpike, we had reported to us unsafe conditions, building and living conditions at that property. Both Dale and Dom and an electrical inspector have been to the house, and they have produced a report, and the report indicates that the house is unsafe in several respects. The current occupant of the house, we've been working through his attorney with him. And the two property owners have been here in town court, as well as they've been provided with copies of the notice of the hearing tonight. And the purpose of the hearing tonight is just to give them an opportunity to talk about the situation, to express any concerns that they have. We would expect that, and it's also important to note that twice now, our building inspector has tagged the house and put a note on it that it's unsafe and it should not be occupied. It doesn't currently have power from National Grid to the house. It only has a generator, and the generator is not, according to the electrical guy, hooked up appropriately. We just want the unsafe condition taken care of. And we're communicating with all the parties to make sure that they know what is wrong. But in the meantime, really, no one should be there. But until we go to the court and get an order from the Supreme Court judge, we don't have the authority to enforce the order. And even when we do get the order, we don't have any policemen here, so we'll be dependent on the sheriff to enforce the order. And there's always the possibility that the property owners will take care of the problem in the interim, and we're keeping an eye out for that. But for now, that's the track we're heading on.
Okay. All right, so at this time, I'll make a motion to open the public hearing. Second. Any discussion? For any?
Yeah. Yeah,
Come on, folks, want to do the roll call first and open it up.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
Aye. All right, folks, when you, I know there's a few members on the Zoom that want to speak. When you speak, just start off with your name and address, current address, just for the record. Thank you.
I'm Giuseppe Gashera. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I am one of the property owners of 3000 Western Turnpike. And I'm just very concerned as to what I just heard from whoever was speaking. So is my understanding correct, when you guys are knowingly know the house is unstable, it's unsafe, yet it is okay for them to continue living there? Is that my understanding?
No, that's not a correct understanding at all. Under the unsafe properties law that the town of Duanesburg has, we have strict due process requirements. which we have to operate under. One of those due process requirements is the hearing tonight in front of the town board. The next due process requirement is going to the Supreme Court. We can't even go to the local town court. We have to go to the Supreme Court to get an order. And then once that order is obtained, then the order can be enforced.
But you're saying even with that order, you can't even enforce it?
We don't, with that order, it will have to be enforced by the Schenectady Sheriff. We do not have any police in the town of Duanesburg.
So we just have to reach out to the sheriff's department and ask them to enforce it for us. We have all the paperwork.
Yeah, but the sheriff's department is not going to act without a notice to vacate, which needs to come from you guys.
Yes, and that's what we're working on.
And how long does this process take?
We're here tonight for the notice and the hearing. Next, we will go to the court, and that will be up to the judge how long that takes.
When are you going to attempt to contact the court?
As soon as we can.
Which is tomorrow? I mean, when does that, what does that mean?
It means we will move expeditiously to go to the court.
Okay, so in the meantime, how do I fix my property? How do I go into the premise without being threatened and having the inhabitants there while I start to remedy these violations? How am I supposed to do that?
I suggest you speak to your lawyer about that.
I do not, I can't afford a lawyer at this time. I cannot, I'm representing myself. I need to get inside. I need to remedy these situations. I need them out. I cannot fix the problems while people are living in there. And he is continuing to allow more inhabitants into the property, which I have video confirmation of that. These people are paying rent to him. I have video confirmation of people admitting that they are paying rent to him. So I find it very, I don't know, I don't know the word to describe this situation. It's very concerning, you know, that the home is a fire hazard. I mean, it's unsafe. How are we in our good conscience letting these people live in here? Live in this home?
Well, I think you're perfectly well aware that the governor has issued an order against eviction.
This has nothing to do with
And
an
if the governor hadn't issued an order against eviction, I'm sure you would be in court seeking an eviction. We are following our rules and doing everything we can. Even if you're a regular landlord, you still have a right to go into your building and keep it in good condition.
Unfortunately, I have never been able to enter this property because it was acquired through a tax foreclosure. And this man has been in there since the day number one that I've owned it. And I've not been able to go inside and remedy these violations from day one. We have, this is, he is not a tenant. I'm not his landlord. I own the land and I need to get inside to remedy these violations. I need to be able to do that.
Right, well, and it's possible that the judge will give an order to allow access to the property to make improvements and to remedy the unsafe circumstance. We're just gonna have to wait until we're in front of the judge. You will get notice of when we're going in front of the judge. And that's really all we can do.
So we just have to sit while they live in this condition?
Nobody is sitting, everybody is doing what they can.
I just don't understand. I just don't. Okay. So how, I guess, what's my next step I'm extremely liable at this point. I'm extremely liable for this property, for these people living here.
And-
I,
And you should consult with your attorney about that. Neither the town board nor me as a representative of the town can advise you on those issues.
no, I don't want your advising. I just want you to be the code enforcers. I need you to enforce the code. Okay, I guess, I have no more to say. This is a dead end. It's a dead end. Okay. I'm finished.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else that's on Zoom wish to speak about this matter? See anybody? All right, I'll make the motion to close the public hearing. Second. Any discussion? We do have at the end of the meeting also, a public forum, so if anybody has any questions, or somebody comes on late, we'll gladly speak about it too, so. Brandy, please call the roll.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Any approval of minutes, please?
Motion for approval of minutes for town board meeting on Thursday, October 22nd, 2020.
I'll second. Any discussion? Brandy, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
All right, town clerk's report.
Town clerk's monthly report, October 1st to October 31st, 2020. Total local shares remitted, $5,180.71. Total non-local revenues, $805.29. Total state, county, and local revenues, $5,986.
Thank you. Supervisor's report, revenues, general fund, $67,421.64. Highway fund, $30,123.49. Fire protection, $0. Parks and recreation, $4.15. Park lands, 12 cents. Service award, 27 cents. Sewer district number 1, $12.10. Sewer district number 2, $10.50. Sewer district number 3, $12.32. Grand total of $97,584.59. Disbursements, general fund, $74,426.51. Highway fund, $62,692.59. Sewer district 1, $42,863.22. Sewer district number 2, $8,566.11. Sewer district number 3, $3,781.01. Grand total of $192,329.44. Give claims, please.
Okay, the motion to pay vouchers, Lansford vouchers for the fund. Let's see here, general fund, $33,895.63. Highway fund, $26,869.04. Sewer district number 1, $54,561.41. Sewer district number 2, $4,374.69. Sewer district number 3, $1,185.90 for a total of $120,886.67.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Ready, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye. All right, we're going to committee reports. I'll start off with highway, Mr. Reed.
Yeah, since our last meeting there, the crew's been pretty busy. We've backed up all the shoulders and the roads that we've paved this season. Currently grading a few of the dirt roads, getting them ready for winter, just filling the potholes and such. We've installed all the markers on the roads that we have a tendency to lose in the snowstorms due to heavy drifting and visibility issues. Truck 16, we discovered we got a broken leaf spring and the walking beam bushings are, at least one of them is broken, so we're scheduled to send that to Watkins Spring this next week to get that repaired. We had to reschedule the tree removal on the Patton Road for the 23rd of this month. The road will be closed for a day. I'll be putting out the notices this next week. Beyond that, the trucks seem to be in pretty decent shape. Our equipment's all on them, ready to go when we need it. So short of one truck, I'm saving to do some ditching on a couple of roads that we need to do. So as long as the weather lets us do it, we'll continue with that. So that'd be it.
That'd be it. Any comments or questions for Mr. Reed?
Bill, did your skid steer get delivered yet?
Next week, I believe it should be.
And Teresa's gonna test drive it.
Absolutely.
We're dropping that Wendy Lane. So
Yeah, please.
you can drive it to the shop.
Can barely drive my car.
Alright, okay.
That's all we got for highway.
Public safety, we had a scheduled fire captain's meeting this week, was canceled mostly due to COVID. Nothing new to update unless you had anything from public safety.
No.
So. How about park committee?
Park committee, we received late today. I haven't had an opportunity to review it yet, but we did receive the proposal for the disc golf installation. So I will get a copy of that proposal out to everybody, get a copy to Teresa. Also, the folks who are selling the disc golf have offered their labor to do an install on it. They're going to, and they also have a, for lack of a better term, I guess I'd call it a temporary disc golf. So what they're gonna do is they're essentially gonna test drive each one of the holes on the entire course before they set it up. So if they feel they need to make any tweaks, they will. And I'll mention again, this is gonna be a beginner type course. It'll be very family friendly. The other thing that we discussed the other night was a Christmas tree for the park at 7 to 20. We're looking for different folks to offer. We've got a few different feelers out to see who can donate a tree for that spot. I had brought up, I said we can get some numbers and see if we can get some lights for that tree, because I know there's power there. The other thing, a gentleman by the name of Jeff Zier was kind and thoughtful enough to take care of the cemetery in Batter Street over the summer, and would like to express sincere appreciation. If he's not in the listening group, if anyone knows him, if they could pass along thanks from all of us for that, we'd appreciate it. And also would like to extend a big thank you to Debbie and John Peters. They took care of the park at 7 and 20, all the flowers over the course of the summer, and more effort than usual with the dry weather. They had to spend a lot of time in the water, and they cleaned it up at the end of the season. So that's really appreciated that they did that. That's all I've got.
Okay, anything else for parks or? Mr. Brown?
Hello,
Phil, you there?
I think so.
Okay, we'll start off with sewer districts. John, you have anything?
No, I don't at this time. I had a meeting scheduled with Dale for this morning, but as you know, I was a bit under the weather this week, so I ended up postponing that. So I don't have an update at this time.
Okay. Mr. Brown, what we got?
The main thing we're working on is getting ready to go to bid with the Delanson work. EFC is reviewing the plans there, and as soon as we get comments back from them, we'll finalize those and come back to the board and ask for approval to go to bid for that work, which will be constructed next year, and Delanson in compliance with our consent order. I know Dale did submit a response back to DEC after their inspection last month, they requested some records and updates on project status and those types of things. So that went back out to DEC this past week from Dale and the guys at the plant. The next one in queue is the work at Mariahville. Plans are due for the disinfection work there in May of next year. So we would anticipate coming to the board in first quarter 2021 to request starting on that project and getting the financing established for that. We anticipate the town would need to get a ban in place from a local bank to provide funds to kind of kick the project off and cover the local share. And ultimately, the part of that would be financed long-term, the part that the grant isn't covering. And I think that's all I got.
Okay. Any comments or questions for Bill or any other sewer related issues? No? All right. Thank you, Mr. Bella.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Yep. Talk to you later. Thank you. IT, John?
Yes. We had a broadband committee meeting this past Tuesday evening. We had a bunch of people that joined us via Zoom. We had a pretty productive meeting, a lot of give and take. We did confirm that over the last 6 to 8 weeks or so, we've had another 15 homes in town come online with broadband. So progress is continuing. I think a couple months ago, we had about 217 unserved homes. I believe we're down to like 203 now. So we continue to hammer away at it. That meeting was recorded. Well, at least most of it was, about 90% of it. I started the recording a little bit late, but I did get most of it recorded, and we did take minutes there. So we'll be getting that on our town website pretty soon. And I believe our next meeting is in early January. Just look at my calendar here. I believe it's January 6th. It's a Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. here at Town Hall downstairs. We're in the process of setting up two-factor authentication for our email. And since the last meeting, I worked with Omnis to get myself set up on that. Had no trouble with it. And then last week I came in and worked with Brandy and got her up on it. No problem. As I worked with Brandy to do it, I drafted user documentation so that hopefully we can pass out that document out and folks can go through the process of getting themselves set up without having technical assistance. Tomorrow I'm going to, through Zoom with Jen, I'm going to give her that documentation and have her basically test out that documentation, see if Jen can use that documentation to get set up, hopefully without my input, and that'll prove that the directions are in good shape, and then we can start rolling it out to the rest of the town employees. We'll probably do it several employees at a time because Omnis does have to do a couple tweaks on the server in order to activate it. But over the next couple of weeks, we should be able to get everybody up on it, and our email system will be much more secure. I mentioned in the last meeting that we got that invoices@dwaynesburg.net mailbox set up for vendors to send invoices to. So we have a central point that we can track them. I gave the information to Brandy on that mailbox so that she could get that going internally. And she can work with the other groups to make sure that they're aware that vendors need to use that to electronically transmit invoices rather than using individual email accounts. We're having trouble with our UPS system, which is our uninterruptible power supply. So, when the power goes down, this device kicks in to provide some temporary power so that we can shut down electronics in an orderly manner rather than have it all just crash down. Well, this UPS is quite old. It's probably, I'm guessing it's somewhere around 10 years old. And the thing has started to fail. And the problem with it failing is what happens is everything gets plugged into that box, and then that box gets plugged into the wall. So when that UPS goes down, basically you lose all power. So UPS is great if your wired power goes down, because that kicks in, but it doesn't work well the other way around. Once that UPS box goes down, you can't access the electricity coming in from the outside world. So, and that's where we are when this thing goes down. What happens is Brandy has to reboot it several times. She finally gets it working, and then things come back up. So when that thing goes down, our internet goes down and our phones go down. So it's not good at all. So I did get a quote from Omnis on it. It's about $450 to get that thing replaced. Obviously, I gave them the go ahead to go ahead and get that thing ordered so we can get that replaced as soon as we can. And when they come to replace that, I told them that I want to work with them to clean out that closet where all the computer equipment is in. There's a bunch of old equipment in there that we're not using, and the devices that we are using should be labeled so we know what each component is. And I'd like to track that with an install date, so we have a replacement plan in place. So, we don't wait for things to fail. We can replace them before we do. So I'll be working with them over the next couple of weeks to get that done. And one thing I do want to talk about is that closet with the equipment gets really hot. Really, that thing should be vented. So I'm not sure where we ought to start with that. If I just get Dale
Yeah,
involved.
just ask Neil about it, and if it's something we can handle, if not, we can get a couple of bids and have a contractor. So it shouldn't
Okay.
cost a lot. I think it's a brick wall, so it'll just be punching a hole through a brick wall and wiring up.
That's right.
Wire
Yep.
fan, like a temperature control fan, probably.
That's right. And it's, yeah, like you say, it's an exterior wall. It's just a matter of popping a hole in there and getting some sort of, thermostat controlled fan in that wall.
Yeah.
Because we end up having to leave that door open a lot so that it doesn't overheat. And obviously that's not an ideal situation at all. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, I'll start with Dale. I'll talk to him about that and we'll try to get moving. The last thing is a call for reviewing the solar law to gather input and suggestions on perhaps tightening up that law. So I don't know if we want to get something on the calendar for that.
Yeah, we said, I think last meeting, we will decide this meeting, so
Yeah.
let me get my calendar. So,
Maybe sometime early December.
yeah, we could. We have probably like a Tuesday night would probably be best,
Okay.
a non-court night. I would say either Tuesday the 8th, maybe.
That works for me.
Or me. What time you want to start? It's like 6:30 or 7? 7:30, better. All right, 7:75, fine. So yeah, we'll set when we get to the business meeting, we'll set it for Tuesday. The 6th.
Yeah, I don't know if
John, you're breaking up, bud.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care what time. If Rick and or Bill thought they could attend, just if there's a time that works better for them, 6:30, 7, doesn't matter to me.
Either or.
Set it for 7.
Okay.
So. Alright,
And that's all I have.
okay. Any, how about the comprehensive plan review, John? I know we're like in the final stages of things going back and forth, correct? Before we have the draft out.
I'm sorry, I think my internet connection is giving us some trouble. Sorry,
Not a problem.
my internet's going in. and out.
Comprehensive plan review, I know we've been, emails, we're trying to button up the last bit before we get the draft out to the public. That's all I was gonna just talk about, so
Okay,
that's been an ongoing process. I think we don't want to set a date when it's gonna come out, but it's a lot closer than where we were in the last few weeks. Any other committee reports or any other?
yeah, we swapped some email.
I'm sorry, we're losing Mr. Behavior. Anything else you
I'm
guys?
moving around trying to get a better connection. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, John. Disco or
Can you hear
something.
me?
I can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I believe, and Teresa might be better to talk about, I believe the next step was that there had to be a special meeting with the planning board in December, I believe.
Well, actually, what we were planning on doing, John, is introducing it at the next, setting a public hearing for at the next meeting for the December planning board meeting. So the planning board could have a hearing on it. And then after you guys meet or let us know if there's anything additional that you want changed before it goes out as a draft. The idea would be to get that out as soon as we can after they set the date of the hearing. And
Okay.
I think the only piece of it that's remaining that you all had some questions about was just the section having to do with the solar.
Correct.
So if you guys can just give me feedback on that, then we can get that out at the planning board meeting. It'll then have to come back to the town board for another public hearing and approval. So it won't be until January that you actually would be in a position to have the public hearing and then make whatever changes the public would like to the document.
Yes, thank you. So, yeah, so Roger, Bill, and I swapped some emails on the topic of that wording today. So we should, yeah, so we should have that back to you very soon.
Perfect, thank you.
Johnny, anything else to add before we go into the business meeting?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. All right, we'll start off with the business meeting.
To make a motion to adopt the preliminary budget as a final and annual budget for the town of Waynesburg for the 2021 fiscal year. Whereas the town board, the town of Waynesburg has prepared a budget for the 2020 fiscal year.
2021, I'm sorry.
2021, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
2021 fiscal year. Whereas the town supervisor has reviewed the budget estimates with the town departments, whereas the town supervisor prepared a tentative budget from the budget estimates. Whereas the budget estimates and tentative budget were submitted to the town clerk's office. Whereas the town clerk presented the tentative budget to the town board at the special meeting on October 5th, 2020. Whereas the town board reviewed the tentative budget, approved it as a preliminary budget for the public review at the regular meeting on October 8th, 2020. Whereas the town clerk duly noted a public hearing on a preliminary budget on file with the town clerk's office. Whereas on October 22nd, 2020 and November 12th, 2020, the town board held duly noted public hearings in the preliminary budget. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby adopts the preliminary budget as the final and annual budget for the town of Waynesburg for the 2021 fiscal year.
Second. Discussion on that. We had a long discussion last board meeting. I'll give you a quick highlights. Town tax is going up significantly, mostly to cover the cost of DVAC, utilizing full-time EMTs that will cover 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift Monday through Friday. We brought on another part-time building inspector / code enforcement officer. We had a 5% increase in the town employees' health insurance and other small things that this prices go up Like I said, the largest amount is because of the DVAC coverage. We did sit with DVAC a few weeks ago, had a great meeting, asking the status of how everything's going. And we feel that with the coverage with the EMT, we saved one life that I was possibly the person wouldn't have made it. The EMTs didn't get there as fast, so. We've been saying that from day one, can't put a price on the life, but I'm glad that we did it at the time we did it, so.
And it's really not going up that much.
No,
Unless it's dollar
I forgot, I don't have my paperwork in front of me, but it was an average of parcel, was minute compared to everything else going on in the world, so. We felt it was a great investment, it had to be done for this town, so. Any other comments, guys, on the budget?
Oh, just other, what we just talked about, was something that was needed. You have to.
You're gonna see that, and you're gonna see more rural towns doing that in the future.
And, one of the things that they told us from the ambulance corps was that their out the door time now is between 1 and 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
it's amazing.
Yeah, so.
So, all right, Brandy, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Potter.
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel.
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser.
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball.
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint the town building inspector and an architect or engineer to make a survey report of the property located at 3000 Western Turnpike. Whereas pursuant to local law number 1 of 1992, the unsafe buildings law, the town board has the authority to order owners of unsafe and/or dangerous buildings to repair or demolish and remove such buildings. And whereas on several dates in 2020, the town of Waynesburg building inspector, the building inspector, inspected the property located at 3000 Western Turnpike, Waynesburg, New York, 12056, SBL number 68-00-1-24, the property, pursuant to the section 5 of the unsafe building law. And whereas the building inspector reported that the condition of the property is unsafe to the general public, may attract rodent infestation, presents danger to health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the public, and is unfit for purposes for which it may be lawfully used. And whereas on October 15th, 2020, pursuant to section 5 of the unsafe building laws, the building inspector reported to the town supervisor and the town board members his findings and recommendations based upon his inspection of the property in the report. And whereas in the report, the building inspector noted the property is littered with debris, garbage, at least one animal carcass, has no electricity due to the power being terminated. And whereas on October 22nd, 2020, the town board adopted a resolution that A, based on the report of the building inspector, the town board determined that the building is unsafe and the conditions identified require remediation and or repair. And B, directed that the attached notice of unsafe condition be served on the property owner or other persons pursuant to section 8 of the unsafe buildings law. And C, directed that notice of unsafe condition be filed in the office of the Schenectady County Clerk pursuant to section 9 of the unsafe buildings law. And D, calling a hearing on November 12, 2020 at 7 p.m. at the town of Waynesburg Hall, 5853 Western Turnpike, Waynesburg, New York, to provide an opportunity for the property owner to address the town board on the said matter. And whereas the notice of unsafe condition was served on the property owner pursuant to section 8 of the unsafe buildings law and submitted to the office of the Schenectady County Clerk for filing pursuant to section 9 of the unsafe buildings law. And whereas on November 12, 2020, the town board held a hearing to provide opportunity for the property owner to address the town board on said matter. Now therefore be it resolved that A, the town board appoint the town building inspector and an architect or engineer to make a survey and report of the property, and if by December 5, 2020, the property owner does not respond to the notice of unsafe condition and or otherwise ignores the town board's order to remediate and repair the conditions identified in the notice of unsafe condition, the building inspector and an architect or engineer shall make such survey and report and submit the same to town board. And if the property owner has not responded to the notice of unsafe condition and or has otherwise ignored the town board's order to remediate and repair the conditions identified in the notice of unsafe condition, and if such survey and report prepared by the building inspector finds the property to be unsafe and or dangerous, the town board directs, 1, that the survey and report be affixed to the building at the property, and 2, the town supervisor to make an application at a special term of the Schenectady County Supreme Court for an order determining the building to be a public nuisance and directing that it shall be repaired.
I'll second it.
Any discussion, further discussion on this matter? Randy, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Wenzel.
Aye.
Councilmember Potter.
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser.
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball.
Aye.
The motion to authorize the town supervisor to make an application at the special term of the Schenectady County Supreme Court for an order determining the building located at 111 Darby Hill Road to be public nuisance and directing that it shall be repaired or secured or demolished and removed, whereas pursuant to local law number 1 of 1992, in parentheses, the unsafe building law, the town board has the authority to order owners of unsafe and or dangerous buildings to repair or demolish and remove such buildings. And whereas on April 7, 2020, pursuant to section 5 of the unsafe buildings laws, the town of Williamsburg building inspector, in parentheses, the building inspector, inspected the property located at 111 Darby Hill Road, Lansing, New York, 12053, parentheses, SPL number 7512-3-13, parentheses, the property, and whereas the building inspector reported that the condition of the property was unsafe condition due to fire, and whereas on August 20th, 2020, pursuant to section 5 of the unsafe building law, the building inspector reported that the town supervisor and town board members his findings and recommendations based on his inspections of the property, parentheses, the report, and whereas in the report, the building inspector was find that after an inspection of the fire damaged building is or will become dangerous to the general public's health and safety, and requesting that the town board have the fire damaged building demolished and all debris removed from the property. Garage removal and graded, mulched and seeded to make it safe. The building inspector also reported that this property must be considered to obtain asbestos, therefore certified licensed contractors must be used. And whereas on September 20th, 2020, pursuant to section 6 of the unsafe building law, the town board considered the report and determined that the building is unsafe and dangerous and ordered this demolition and removal. And whereas notice of unsafe and dangerous condition requiring demolition and removal was served on the property owner pursuant to section 8 of the unsafe building laws and filed in the office of Schenectady County Clerk pursuant to section 9 of the unsafe building laws. And whereas on September 24th, 2020, a duly noted hearing was held at 7 p.m. at the town of Duanesburg Town Hall, 5853 Western Turnpike, Duanesburg, New York, to provide an opportunity for the property owner to address the town board on said matter. And whereas on September 24, 2020, the town board by resolution appointed the town building inspector and architect or engineer to make a survey and report of the property. And if by October 25th, 2020, the property owner did not respond to the notice of unsafe and dangerous conditions requiring demolition and removal, or otherwise ignored the town board's order to demolish and remove the building inspector and architect or engineering were directed to make such survey and report and submit the same to the town board for review. And whereas the property owner has not responded to the notice of unsafe and dangerous condition requiring demolition and removal, and has otherwise ignored the town board's order to demolish and remove the building. And whereas the town's building inspector and And engineer prepared and submitted a survey and report, parentheses, the survey report for the town board review. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board directs that the survey and report be affixed to the building at the property, and two, the town board directs the town supervisor to make an application at the special term of the Schenectady County Supreme Court for an order determining the building to be public nuisance and directing that it shall be prepared or secured or demolished and removed.
Second.
All right, discussion on this. This is another property, got tied up because of the COVID reports. This is the property that's in the corner of Quaker Street and Darby Hill Road, lost in a fire. Took a while because of the property owner decided not to handle it properly. So this is where we're going. We'll be looking at probably the town doing a cleanup on it. Teresa's office has talked to the county lawyers, some options for us. So when we get the property cleaned up, this is the avenue we have to go down. Any other discussion?
Yeah, it'd be nice to get it cleaned up.
Yes, it's right in the corner, main, really good thoroughfare right there. And that's good stuff. It'd be nice to either see it go back to the house or, you know, plant some grass there. So, Randy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Potter,
All right,
Councilmember Wenzel.
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser,
Aye.
Supervisor Tidball.
Motion to authorize the town supervisor to submit the documentation to New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation to obtain the funds to pay professional services. Invoice numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8 upon receipt of such funds, authorized the payment of Delaware in the amount of $55,270.31. Whereas the town of Dwaynesburg Town Board has established Dwaynesburg Sewer District number 1 and 3, and whereas the Lansing wastewater treatment plant as the Lansing wastewater treatment plant, WWP, serves as Dwaynesburg Sewer District number 1 and 3. Whereas the town board retained Delaware Engineering, DPC, Delaware, for professional services in connection with long-term improvements project at the Lansing wastewater treatment plant, the project. Whereas Delaware has submitted an invoice to the town board review in the amount of $8,079 for professional services provided during July and August 2020. Professional service invoice number 5. Whereas Delaware has also submitted an invoice to the town board review in the amount of $10,485 for professional services provided during August and September 2020. Professional services invoice number 6. And whereas Delaware has submitted an invoice to the town board review in the amount of $12,452.31 for the professional services provided during September and October 2020. Known as professional services invoice number 7. And whereas Delaware has submitted an invoice to the town board review in the amount of $24,254 professional service during October and November 2020. Known as professional services invoice number 8. Now therefore be resolved, the town board authorizes the town supervisor to submit the documentation to New York Environmental Facilities Corporation and obtain the funds to pay professional services invoices numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8, and upon receipt of such funds authorizes payment to Delaware in the amount of $55,270.31. Any discussion on that? Randy, call the roll, please.
Supervisor Tidball.
Aye.
Councilmember Potter.
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser,
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel.
The next one is a little blunt. We should be a little more to the resolution. And we gotta add the name of the price put in there in the independent electrical contractors as part of the resolution. This motion to appoint a third-party inspector. So already motion to appoint a third-party inspector known as the Independent Electrical Contractors New York Chapter, New York. What this is, discussion on that, what this is, our buildings inspectors need to have electrical inspections done. This is a third-party inspector to come in and do the inspections for us. And the agreement with them.
our guys can do that.
Unless you're gonna.
They don't do it.
No, they never know. The county, usually at the county, come on, do it. This is another group. Any other discussion? Did you second?
We should be sure and get the insurance certificate to Matt.
Okay, Master Farmer. Thank you. Randy, call the roll, please.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
I make a motion to authorize Imperial Supplies LLC as a new vendor for the town of Williamsburg.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Randy, call the roll, please.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
Okay, so when we're adding, make a motion to set a solar law review meeting for Tuesday, December 8th at 7 p.m.
Is it gonna be here?
Yes, the meeting will be here and be on Zoom, I'm sorry. And, Randy, call the roll, please.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
Any other business meeting supplements? Okay. All right, folks that are still, people that are still left on Zoom, this is part of the night, privilege of the floor. If you wish to speak, just put a note through Zoom there that you wish to speak, and Brandy would unmute you. Is Ms. Jordan on that? Okay. Ms. Jordan sent us a letter. So I'll read her letter before we open the floor to anybody. Dated November 12, 2020, dear Supervisor Tidball, what's the status of the comprehensive plan? When will it be available for review by the residents? What is the status of solar law review? When is the next meeting? I would like the town to adopt a moratorium on energy storage solutions, ESS, New York State Energy Research and Development Authority funds ESS projects separately from wind and solar power plants. Many towns across New York State are adopting moratoriums that can rate laws governing the density, space, and location and decommission of these facilities. 5 megawatt ESS project may have two 53-foot long, 253 feet long, 12 feet wide, and 12 feet tall containers of lithium-ion batteries that have to be replaced over 10 to 12 years. Please see enclosed image of the energy storage container. Such a facility would likely create over 1 acre of ground disturbance and be a hazard for first responders for generations. An active moratorium on ESS will allow the town to protect itself. As a building permit been issued for Oak Hill Solar 1 LLC or Oak Hill Solar 2 LLC. Thank you for assistance. Regards, Lynn Green. Answer our questions, and some questions were answered in the board meeting tonight. Status of the comprehensive plan, when it'll be available. We're hoping sometime in the January time frame to have it out to the public. Status of the solar law review, we set up a meeting for early December. During that meeting, we'll definitely talk this time more about maybe the energy storage solutions facilities to have them maybe added to our solar law. And no building permits have been issued, right, Teresa?
That is correct.
And no building permits have been issued for the Oak Hill solar projects. Again, Ms. Warren, thank you for your input. Randy, is anybody else wishing to speak at this time?
No.
We'll do a few seconds. Nothing?
Nope.
Okay, somebody misses their opportunity to speak, please reach out to the town board, town clerk for question, comments with Lily, leave at the next board meeting or try to answer them for you before then. Make the motion for adjournment.
Second.
All righty, any discussion? Randy, please call the roll.
Supervisor Tidball?
Aye.
Councilmember Potter?
Aye.
Councilmember Ganser?
Aye.
Councilmember Wenzel?
Folks, anybody else down there, please enjoy your night. We will not have a meeting end of this month, due to Thanksgiving, so please enjoy your holiday. And if you have more than 10 people, you're gonna get arrested. Gotta throw some humor in there. Won't be by me. Folks, thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Roger, do you have the paperwork signed for Bill
I have no paperwork to say.
on those